My name is Ananya Vahal, and I'm 29 years old. I'm a writer and an MFA student in creative writing. I'm also the president of the Sid Foundation. So I founded the Sid Foundation in 2015. It was a year after my brother Sid passed away from lung transplant complications. So I wanted a way to keep alive his legacy and raise funds and awareness for lung transplant research. It's not just smokers that need lung transplant. Lung transplants can be needed by anybody. There's so many diseases like COPD, emphysema, and things like that that eventually lead to a lung transplant. My brother had interstitial lung disease, which destroyed his lungs within weeks. So, and it wasn't because of smoking. So, people don't know why lung transplants are important, but there's a huge population out there because there's so many different diseases that can lead to a lung transplant. Lung Girl is the Sid Foundation's official mascot, and it's also a way for us to educate about lung transplant health and lung health in a fun way. So in 2016, we published the first Lung Girl comic book, and the second one came out in 2017. We go out into the community and do comic book workshops and things like that. So people who may not normally be interested in lung health or lung transplant research will become interested through the comic book, through Lung Girl. So that's another way that we pull an audience in. And then the website, digital content is very important. We have monthly blogs on there. I make educational videos about lung transplant research. I make videos about our events and things like that so that we can, share that information online and spread it through social media. Time management is very important because you have to make sure you're, when it comes to organizing events and staying relevant as a business, you want, especially with a nonprofit, people have to be emotionally connected to you. So you have to constantly be in their mind. You have to constantly put yourself out there, let them know that you're doing something. The emotional attachment can die if they don't hear from you for a while. You can't possibly do everything yourself as a business owner, for profit or nonprofit. So at some point you have to go out and find volunteers or hire people. So, I rely on both because even if I have the skills, like I can write grants myself, I'm a writer, but I don't have the time to do that. I don't have the time to go out and look for grants all the time and sit there and write, these essays all the time because that's not what I want to do with my writing career. So I hired a grant writer. So, she looks for grants for me. We have a meeting every week, every Friday to discuss what grant we're applying for now, what she needs from me, information, what project it's for, all the specifics. And then she's the one who fills out the grants for me. So I don't have to spend that time, and then she takes her commission off the grants. Things like that. Last year I hired a guy to help me with the promotional aspects of the Sid Foundation. These are skills that I have, but this is time. Time is very precious. So you want to make sure you get volunteers or hire people to do those things so you can focus on the bigger, more important projects and on the bigger vision of your company. The thing I like least about running my own business in general is the budgeting, the Excel sheets, the tax paperwork preparations. We have an accounting company, one of our sponsors, who files our taxes for us for free every year with the IRS. So I have some support, and my dad keeps sending me these Excel sheets with the formulas already in them, so I have to fill it out. Makes it a little bit easier, but I still hate it, and I can't wait to hire someone to do that for me. Starting a nonprofit is not an easy endeavor, but I knew starting out that I would have to not pay myself for the first couple of years, just to make sure the business is running and invest all the money, donations, everything I could get into, events and marketing and saving up so I can actually fund lung transplant research and things like that. So my long-term aspirations are to continue building the Sid Foundation, and I'm building a team for the Sid Foundation so that I don't have to wear all the hats forever. That's exhausting. I would rather be on the board of the Sid Foundation so I can still kind of influence the legacy of my brother and the direction it goes into. But I don't want to have to be wearing all the hats all the time. And then, of course, I'm building my writing career. I want to be a published author, and I want to keep building that business up on my own terms as well, because that's going to pay my bills. So those are my long-term plans with balancing the two businesses.